Hey, what's up everyone? This is Peter and I am a vegan. So I wanted to record this vlog to answer a few questions about why I decided to become vegan. And this is not an overnight decision. I didn't just wake up this morning and decide, that's it, I'm going to be a vegan. It's actually part of a journey, and it all started probably from Future of Business, which is a business boot camp that I attended last year, 2015 in November. And I met a lot of really healthy minded and healthy in the body and spirit people who are vegans. There was something different about all these people. They weren't really pushy about it. There wasn't a hard sell about pushing the vegan agenda on me. And it led me wanting to ask questions about, but I didn't, because I loved my meat. Now, some of you know that I did a 10-day juice fast. I did that 2 Tuesdays ago. Today's Monday. I finished the juice fast last Thursday. Friday was the first day that I ate pretty much solid foods. Saturday, I tried to sneak in some meat, some chicken, and I ate it. Not a lot. Sunday, we were to have a few friends over for barbecue. I thought, what the hell, one of my favorite things to eat was chicken wings. So I marinated some chicken wings myself, and I ate the chicken wings as well, along with some salads and things, but I didn't feel all that good. I felt really seedy. Felt like I wanted to make myself throw up. It was the knowing that I'd eaten something that was once alive. Anyway, then over the weekend on Sunday night, I had a chat with an old client of mine who Shane Golden, who used to be into marketing. I watched one of his YouTube videos about he's changed. He's now a holistic naturopath healer. He told me to watch a documentary called Earthling. And then a couple of friends of mine from Future of Business, Mikey and Lee, mentioned a documentary called Cowspiracy. So last night, I thought I'd go to bed. And I like watching, training videos. And so I thought, instead of watching training videos, this time I'll just watch this documentary. And if I fall asleep watching it, then that's fine, whatever. So I did. I jumped in bed and I started to watch Earthling. This is one hell of a documentary. It's very raw. It basically covers the kind of how cruel humans are towards animals in agriculture, animal husbandry. It was very moving. It's hard to watch that without either feeling ill or just tears coming, just feeling sick for the kind of humans that are out there. So I went to bed around midnight, and then when Earthling finished, I started to watch Cowspiracy, thinking to myself, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm probably going to fall asleep watching this. But then I was hooked. Cowspiracy was a brilliant documentary. Really reeled me in with all the investigative reporting. By the time I finished both documentaries, it would have been about 3 in the morning. And it was then that I decided no more animals. And I decided that's when I would become a vegan. Initially, I decided, even before watching the 2 documentaries, I actually decided to go 30 days as a vegan, just to try it out, see what it's like. When you're driving on the highway or on the roads and you see one of those trucks driving by that has all the cattle squashed up inside it, those cattle trucks, or in Melbourne when you're driving around, you see these trucks also carrying sheep. Sometimes you can see the eyes of the cows at the traffic lights. When you pull up next to one of these trucks, you can actually look over and you can see the eyes of the cows, and it's almost like the cows are looking at you, kind of knowing. And I used to feel sadness because I knew what was in store for them. And what was crazy about that was I'd still be okay with eating meat. And when you think about it, when you go to the shops to buy meat, it's packaged in such a nice, clean way that there is no connection between the thing that's on the shelf. The meat that's packed came from something that was living and that could feel pain. And it wasn't until I watched that Earthling documentary that it really hit home. Let me share with you another reason, or a few more reasons, why I've decided to become vegan. Big difference between vegetarian and vegan too. Vegan, in a nutshell, are people who believe that who don't view animals as a commodity And commodity is something that you buy and sell. Like back in the days, people were being, actually no, even these days, human beings are being bought and sold. Back in the days, it used to be slaves. These days, you don't really hear about it, but it still happens in the capacity of sex slaves and things like that. But so vegans are against the whole idea of, you know, humans having a say in how animals should be bought and sold. And they view animals as just other creatures that are sharing this planet with us human beings. You know, we're all sharing this planet. So one of the things was back around 2007 or 2008, there was a documentary that was produced by Al Gore. It was called The Inconvenient Truth, and it was all about global warming, climate change, how there's a lot of CO2 emissions from man-made, from industries, automobiles, things like that, impacting on environment. And when I first saw the documentary, it was at a time that I already was very skeptical about governments and how, you know, there's corporations that pretty much run the government, you know, corporatocracy with revolving doors. And so when Al Gore came out with this documentary, I thought at first, this is nice. You know, someone's actually trying to educate the masses. But then deep down, I felt like, what's the agenda here? Because humans weren't the biggest causes, or industry are not the biggest contributors to CO2 emissions. I wasn't able to prove it back then, but I just had this hunch. Want to know some interesting facts? Greenhouse gases, livestock, and their byproducts account for at least 32 million tons of carbon dioxide per year, or that's 51% of all greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. So livestock and byproducts. So we're not talking wild animals. We're talking animals that are being reared for food and other, you know, and other byproducts. 51%. All these statistics. I'll put a link in the description below that you can check out yourself, or go and watch Cowspiracy. Worldwide, at least 50% of grain is fed to livestock. So many livestock around the world that they have to be fed, right? 50% of the world's grain goes to feeding them. 82% of starving children live in countries where the food is fed to animals, and the animals are eaten by Western countries. Just get that around your head for a moment. You've got these third world or developing nations where children are starving. In those countries where they're actually feeding livestock, they're feeding livestock with grain that could otherwise be going to those starving children, but instead they're feeding it to these livestock, which will then be exported out of that poor developing country into America, or into Western countries, not just America. There's two main reasons I decided to become vegan. First reason is because unless I kill the animal by myself, with my own hands, slit the throat and do it myself, no, I'm not going to eat it. Second reason is I've always wanted to make a change, have some kind of positive impact on our spaceship Earth. You know, this planet is like a big ship sailing through the space outside. And people and animals are all on this one ship. And, you know, if we keep polluting and making our ship sick, making this ship a crazy killer environment, then where are we going to bail off to? We can't jump ship at this moment. There is no other habitable planets for us to just go and say, whoops, we fucked up this planet, let's go to another one. No, we can't. We're stuck with this planet. And it's interesting having two kids. You start to think, well, at least I did. I start to think about what kind of planet am I leaving my kids to grow up in? Eating animals is not a good idea because it's such a great strain on the planet. If you have any questions about this vegan journey, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, together we are better.